You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Seth Peterson.
Hi, I'm Tippi Hedren.
I'm Rhonda Schwartz.
I'm Doris Roberts.
This is Jessalyn Gilson.
I'm Seth Peterson.
Hi, I'm Tippi Hedren.
I'm Rhonda Schwartz.
I'm Doris Roberts.
This is Jessalyn Gilson.
Hello, I'm Victor Webb.
Hi, this is Charlotte Ross.
Hi, this is Ed Begley Jr.
What's up, you guys? This is AJ from the Backstreet Boys.
Hi, this is Shannon Elizabeth, and you're listening to Talkin' Pets.
Talkin' Pets.
Talkin' Pets.
And you're listening to Talkin' Pets.
Talking Pets.
Talking Pets.
With Jon Patch.
Jon Patch.
You're listening to Talkin' Pets with Jon Patch.
Hello, America, and welcome to Talkin' Pets with your host, Jon Patch. Join Jon and his expert guests with all of your pet questions, concerns, comments, and stories. Now it's time for Talkin' Pets with your host, Jon Patch.
And welcome to Talkin' Pets, heard coast to coast on your favorite radio station. This is Talkin' Pets, and I'm Jon Patch. Joining us is
Dr. Lisa Santonzi from Hernando County Animal Services in Brooksville, Florida.
And also
Dr. Vince Santonzi from the Hillsborough Community College Veterinary Technology Program in Plant City, Florida.
And we're here to answer your questions, both medical questions and behavior questions about your pets. When you call into 866-606-8255, you'll speak with Mr. Zach Buden, and he'll put you on the line with us. 866-606-8255. The show is produced by executive producer Mr. Bob Page.
Hola, senor.
Hey, Bobby.
How are you?
We have a special guest joining us in this hour. He's going to join us for a few minutes, about a half hour. So if you've got questions, you got to call. His name is Captain Paul Hebert. So we're going to be talking with him, and he is from National Geographic Channel's Wicked Tuna. So the finale's coming up, so you got to make sure you tune in, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on. So tune in for that with Wicked Tuna, Mr. Paul Hebert from National Geographic Channel. But once again, I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
Well, once again, pick up the phone and give us a call at 866-606-TALK. And you're listening to Talkin' Pets. I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
866-606-TALK, 866-606-8255. I want to welcome onto the program right now from National Geographic Channel and one of the captains on Wicked Tuna, Mr. Paul Hebert. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Here I am, man. What's happening?
How are you?
Doing great.
You know, do you recognize that music?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Hey, you know what? I got you. I have to admit, I'm hooked now, and I don't mean, in the lip or anything like that, like a fish, but
for the upper jaw. That's right.
I was watching actually. Nat Geo sent me copies of the show, and I got to actually tune in, and I'm really hooked. This is a pretty cool show, so I'm looking forward already to next season. Before we go a little further, though, I want to introduce you to the doctors, Dr. Lisa and Dr. Vince.
Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
How's it going?
And, of course, our executive producer, Mr. Bob Page.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What's up, buddy?
You sound like you're in a can. What's up with you?
Hey, they've got copies of the show, which tuning in too, but I want to find out and let the audience know all across America so they can tune in not only to the finale coming up, but also to next season. And it's interesting because I learned a lot on this thing. First of all, who would have thought? You guys are out there, in I can't say it. It's Massachusetts. How do you say it? Gloucester? Gloucester. Okay. Yeah. I noticed the accent on you on the television show, too. You got a strong one there.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being from up there.
No. Bobby's a huge Boston Red Sox fan.
Oh, good. Good for you, man.
You can't say anything bad about the Red Sox when Bobby's around. Not that anybody would. But
be violence.
Went to their game last week. They had a grand slam. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they were playing the A's. Smoked them.
True fans.
Yeah.
True fans. Boston strong.
So you got to watch the next episode already?
I did. And I can't give anything away.
How do I I do.
You can't give anything away either.
Don't catch anything?
You know, it's interesting because when you guys are out there on the Atlantic, you guys are fishing for these, they're bluefins, right?
Giant bluefin. That's right. They are the filet mignon of the sea.
It's amazing.
That's what they are.
I was amazed the fact that...
So these are tuna, right?
Yeah,
Bluefin
tuna.
tuna.
And they're gigantic.
Yeah.
These things are
yeah,
huge.
They get big. There's some big fish out there. When I was younger, we used to catch them. We never even saw like a 300 or 400 pounder. When I was younger, back in the 70s and 80s, we never did. When we first started seeing these things, it was probably like 6 or 8 years ago, and we were like, where the hell did these things come from? We thought they were born at like 400 or 500 pounds. Because all the fish we used to catch were like 1,000-pounders.
You know, most people are familiar with tuna because they see it on their plate. But the thing is if you see these, like on this show, on Wicked Tuna, these things are almost like dinosaur-looking. I mean, they're unbelievably strange-looking fish.
They are. They are perfectly dynamic to the ocean. You know?
It's funny, too, because when they're in the water... It's pretty awesome the way Nat Geo films them and you see them in the water and all. But then when you guys pull them up and you have to, like once you hook them and you spear them and then you bring them up on the boat, I was amazed. I almost fell over when the first time I saw the one coming up on the boat. I was like, wow, it's bigger and longer than man.
Yeah. Just keep
Unless
coming.
you guys
are
short.
Remember, these things have to be 6 feet long for us to keep them. You know, they're smaller and they get a lot bigger. These things... You know, they're like 30, 40, 50 pounds overseas. Wow. You know? So that's what they catch over there.
With Wicked Tuna...
We have a we're very highly regulated over here. They're going to be 73 inches or bigger for us to keep them.
So that's like the length of a human, a man.
Yeah. 6 feet.
I'm 6'2".
Bigger than me.
Yeah, that's a big fish.
I'm 6'2", so it's like my
300 pounds.
How many fillets can you get out of one of those?
Well, what they do is they call them loins.
Okay.
And they can get 4 loins, 2 big loins on each side.
Uh-huh.
So we ship them all to Japan anyways, because that's where they get the big money over there. It's a delicacy over there.
Sashimi.
Fish and rice.
Right. Yeah, Vince and I lived in Japan for almost 4 years. We ate a lot of tuna.
You like tuna?
I love tuna.
Did you? Did you like it?
I don't like the raw stuff, but Vince,
I love it.
I'm just too afraid of catching something. But I love cooked fish.
There's no mercury or anything in those.
No, I mean like parasites and hepatitis and stuff like that.
60 miles an hour. There ain't a parasite that can catch one of them things. Come on.
Well, if I knew that you caught the fish, I would eat some sashimi from it. If I knew you caught it, if I knew where it was coming from.
Yeah.
But so when you go to a restaurant, you don't know.
Out of Florida and come here, and I'll catch you some tuna.
There you go. You got an invitation there, Lisa.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
You know, it's funny because it looks like a steak.
On the boat. So I can probably tell you that I do have my own boat for next season.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we're gonna come out. You're gonna have to take us out on the boat, and we'll do a show out live from your boat or something like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys come on out on the Wicked Pessa. That's the name of the boat.
So is it like The Perfect Storm out there, that movie? Is it like that with the really rough seas and everything?
No, it's not like that. It's calm. We go out when it's calm, too.
Yeah.
Especially in June and July. It's really nice weather. It gets really rough when in October and November and December. That's when it's really rough.
It's amazing, though, that in the one episode, there is a storm that kind of comes in.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are, what was it, the Coast Guard came up and said, hey, you guys got to head in. You can't stay out here.
Yeah. We were the only ones that stayed out.
Because you guys want to make, we're going to take a little break, Paul. When we come back, I want to talk about, basically the tuna. And there's a couple of things that you guys do once you bring it into the, I don't know if you call it the warehouse or the tuna factory or whatever it's called. But when you bring it in, there's a couple of things that you do that I think is kind of fascinating. I want to ask you about that. And then also, I want to talk about kind of like how long does it take you to actually hook one of these guys and reel them in? But don't give it away. We'll come back. We're going to take a little break. We're speaking with Paul Hebert. He's one of the captains there on the show. It's called Wicked Tuna, and 2-part Wicked Tuna finale begins on Sunday. That is tomorrow, May 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Pacific Time, and it concludes on Sunday, May 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. You can check it out on the Nat Geo channel. So on the cable, towards you, National Geographic Channel, Wicked Tuna. We're speaking with Paul Hebert. If you've got a question about Wicked Tuna or fishing for the bluefin, give us a call at 866-606-TALK. 866-606-8255. Once again, I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
866-606-8255. 866-606-TALK. You're listening to Talkin' Pets.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to communicate with animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit PetLifeRadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
Aquariums and pond keeping are among the most popular of all hobbies in the United States and throughout the world. In fact, fish are probably the most numerous pet in people's homes and in their businesses. In Aquarium Mania, we'll learn more about the secret and not so secret life of fish and other inhabitants, the basics of good aquarium keeping, the complexities of the aquarium industry, and the science and art that surround this fascinating hobby. I'm your host, Roy Anong, and I'd like to thank you for joining us. Aquarium Mania.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
You're listening to Talkin' Pets. I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
866-606-TALK is the number, 866-606-8255. From the Nat Geo channel, National Geographic channel, we're talking with Paul Hebert. He's the captain on the Lisa and Jake. That's the boat there out in Wicked Tuna. Now, don't forget, the finale begins tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time and concludes on Sunday, May 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. Got a couple more questions, of course, for Paul Hebert. And if you want to tune into it, we recommend on Nat Geo channel that you check it out. Hey, Paul, you got a question coming from George out in the state of Washington. He's got a question for you. George in Othello, Washington. Hey, George, how you doing? Welcome to Talkin' Pets.
Doing pretty good, John. How you guys doing back there?
Doing good. Are you into fishing, George?
I used to be. Funny you say that because I live in an area where the potholes are. They call it from back in the old days when they had the what do you call it? Went through and changed the whole land, and now it's all potholes where they have lakes and fishing season's just open. So.
But nothing though, George. Nothing like what Paul Hebert's doing with these bluefins. I mean, amazing.
Fish as big as me, that'd be pretty tough to take.
You watch the show, George? You like it?
Yeah, it's a cool show.
Awesome, man. Thanks, man, for your support.
I just don't see how you guys tough it out all the time doing that kind of stuff.
I'll tell you a quick little story, all right? You got a second? I grew up doing this. I was 8 years old when I caught my first 1,000-pound fish.
Really?
My grandfather did it. My father did it. My 5 older brothers did it.
Man.
My mother did it with my father. She won the first women's tuna tournament.
It takes a long time to haul those in, doesn't it?
What's that?
It takes you a long time to haul those in.
It does. That was probably one of the questions I was going to be asked anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from, I've caught 900-pounders in 5 minutes, but I've caught them also in 8 hours.
Yeah, that's
my God.
You know what I mean? So
you must have some strong arms.
Yeah, I got all upper body strength. You know.
Anyway,
like they say in dancing, it's all in the hips.
Have you ever talked to Charlie? Is he down there? Or as what's that? The Simpson girl. She says it's the chicken of the sea. She thinks it's chicken in a can. So
yeah.
Now I've had pets my whole life, and I've always heard that one thing bad. Now John Vincent Leach ought to know this question. Is it okay to feed your dog tuna? I heard it was.
Absolutely, it is.
Occasionally.
Absolutely.
I would say occasionally. If you feed cats,
it's very rich.
Yeah, and if you feed cats exclusively tuna, they can develop it's a vitamin deficiency. I can't remember which vitamin.
Right. I know that
Taurine.
cats have that. They will get a stomach problem because it's a very rich food. If you mix it with like their food a little bit, like every couple of weeks or something's fine.
Or occasionally as a treat.
Yeah, as a treat.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Fish is good for animals.
How about salmon and that kind of stuff? Is that rich too?
Salmon is great. I mean, salmon and tuna, they're very rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for your brain, your heart, your skin, your arteries. It helps with your blood pressure.
Well, that's what I think is interesting too, Paul. When like Dr. Lisa's talking about what it's good for, and does that increase the price? Because when you were bringing in these fish on Wicked Tuna, I mean, they're slabbing them down in that. What do you call it? Where do you take them to? Is it a warehouse or something? Or?
We take them. That's our fish buyer. They all have different fish buyers. Everyone has their own, and the fish house that we go to, they process them right there. The one that Dave goes to, they just put them in a truck.
But it's interesting,
they process them when they get to the plant.
When you bring them in, I mean, they cut these guys up, and you insert some kind of like a pipe, little tiny pipe thing that pulls some of the meat out, and then they look at.
They get a core sample. That's what that is. They go in there for the core sample to see if the fish is burnt. Like I said earlier, they swim 60 miles an hour, so they can burn from the inside out. Now, what I call it, if you're a slacker, when you catch a fish, you don't ice your fish to cool it down. That's what happens. They burn.
Well, what's the least amount, like pound-wise, versus the most amount you, Paul, have gotten for a tuna, say 500 pounds?
For this year or my life?
Basically, for throughout Wicked Tuna for like the last year.
I think we get one for like $28 a pound.
Wow.
It's almost $20,000 for one fish.
The Japanese will pay that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. They get twice the amount. Look, when we sell a fish, it costs whatever we get back. It's called back to the boat. See, we get $20 back to the boat. That fish sold for $38 a pound over in Japan.
Yeah.
Because it costs money for air freight, packing, shipping, trucking, icing. So it costs like $20 a pound to do it, Plus they get their 15% commission on the fish for doing it.
Don't they buy it at that price and then they resell it even higher price, don't they?
Oh, yeah, they try. That's why you pick a dealer and you just go with who you feel comfortable with,
If it winds up in a restaurant, the restaurant really jacks it up. So.
Captain, when they
you get what you pay for,
Yeah, exactly.
When they take that core sample, do they also test it for things like mercury and parasites and things like that too?
No, that core sample is, you could tell by the meat. And I know once in a while we do have marine biologists there, and they work on the eyes, the ears, and the cheeks on the fish. And I know they do it there. They take it back to a lab.
Yeah, because that's where it would concentrate.
None of our fish that came in here has ever had parasites in it.
Hey, Paul.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
With that Fukushima thing that happened over in Japan with the nuclear power plant, is there any concerns over fish with radiation poisoning or anything like that?
Yeah, but the fish over there are different from the ones over here.
Are they?
You know what I mean? Those fish over there stay in those waters. The ones that come from like Spain and Portugal, those ones filter into the Gulf Stream. And, and then I'm sure a few of those in Maine and stuff like that. But the ones we catch off of Gloucester and Provincetown and off of Cape Cod, those ones usually stick right around. To the Grand Banks,
Paul, are you able to fish like once a year? Is that when tuna season is?
June 1st is opening day.
June 1st. For how many weeks?
June 1st is giant bluefin season, Cape Cod.
Are you only allowed to take so many?
We could take 3 a day.
3 a day.
If you're lucky enough to get that many, you can catch 3 a day.
It's
but
amazing,
you'll notice on the show, it takes us 3 or 4 days to catch 3 sometimes. You're going to George's Bank.
But if you have a good day, or I should say a good week or whatever, you can make a large amount of money.
Yeah, you sure can.
Hey, we got to take a little break. George and
Good talking to you guys.
Othello, as always, thanks.
You take care out there.
Take
bye.
care, George. Paul,
Thanks,
don't go
George.
away.
See you, pal.
We're coming back with Paul Hebert, the captain there on Wicked Tuna. You can tune in again. The Wicked Tuna finale begins tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time and concludes on Sunday, May 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time on Nat Geo. That's National Geographic Channel. And don't forget, tune in next season, and hopefully maybe me, Lisa Vince, and Bobby will all come out there. We'll be out on that boat, and we'll be spending a day with Paul, because you guys would die when you. I know I would to see this thing coming up. It's amazing.
Yeah, we'll watch it tomorrow night.
And we're going to actually talk about it a little bit more. I want to ask Paul how many times a shark has come after his tuna. So we'll be right back with Paul Hebert, the captain there on Lisa and Jake. That's the boat that he's on there in Wicked Tuna. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're listening to Talkin' Pets.
Talkin' Pets. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Pet Life Radio has doggone fur-flying fantastic deals for our listeners.
Go to petcodeals.com and get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off hundreds of items at Petco.
Petcodeals.com.
But that's not all.
Are you talking to me?
Pet Life Radio listeners, try audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com.
That's audibledeals.com.
The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. Go to DysonDeals.com. DysonDeals.com
to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Go to PetSmartDeal.com and save up to 30% on awesome gifts for the pets and pet people in your life. Toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetSmartDeal.com today. PetSmartDeal.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
With this hour's Talking Pets news from the USA Today, live from the ranch, here's your host, Jon Patch.
Out of Lafayette, Louisiana, oil giant BP has agreed to pay $340 million to restore 4 of the barrier islands that act as hurricane buffers for Louisiana's mainland and create 2 fish research hatcheries in the state, according to Republican Governor Jindal announced. Dr. Lisa?
From Bozeman, Montana. At Montana State University, final exam stress is going to the dogs. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reported Intermountain Therapy Animals is bringing dogs to campus this week to help students take a break from the stress of studying.
From Santa Rosa, California, in the You Won't Believe It category, authorities say sun refracted off a dog's shiny water bowl and ignited a fire at Terry and Shay Weisbrick's home on Wednesday. The fire was quickly put out, but it left a hole in the siding, the Press Democrat reported.
I guess that would make sense, though. I mean, it could, I guess it could. I mean, hot sun, reflect off stainless steel. You never know. In St. Louis, Missouri, the St. Louis office of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is getting its first explosive sniffing dog. The ATF said the 15-month-old chocolate Labrador Retriever, Andy, was raised by prison inmates through the program Puppies Behind Bars.
From Riverhead, New York, the Riverhead Foundation for Marine Research and Preservation has released a male porpoise named Noodle 6 months after he stranded himself. A satellite tag was attached to his dorsal fin, and maps tracking his movements will be available for public viewing on the Foundation's website.
From Tallahassee, Florida, the state will issue more than 5,000 alligator hunting permits for the 2013 season, which runs from August 15th through November 1st, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The news press reported permits cost $262 for Florida residents and $1,022 for non-residents.
And once again, you're listening to Talkin' Pets. I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
Don't forget, we're talking, of course, about Wicked Tuna. And you can tune in on May 5th and at May 12th for the finale. It's a two-part finale. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time on National Geographic Channel. You can also check them out on their website at natgeotv.com/Wicked Tuna. So you can go right to their website. But right now you can go to our website, talkinpets.com, TALKINpets.com. You can watch us live on the webcam. Just click on Watch Live at the top of the homepage, and you can watch us right now on the cam. And also, please join us on Facebook and Twitter and become part of our Talkin' Pets family. Once again, give us a call at 866-606-TALK.
Woke up this morning wanting to die. Then I remembered, yes, I knew why. She was a good one till she turned a flake. I'm going fishing or jump in the lake.
And you're listening to Talkin' Pets. I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
Two-part Wicked Tuna finale begins on Sunday. That's tomorrow, May 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time, and concludes on Sunday, May 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. You can check it out on Nat Geo channel. Don't forget, you can go to their website for more information at natgeotv.com/Wicked Tuna. And we do have them linked up with our Twitter and Facebook as well. And we do have them on our homepage there at talkinpets.com, TALKINpets.com. And you can also watch us live on the webcam if you wish to. We're talking right now with Paul Hebert. He's one of the captains there on the vessel, Lisa and Jake. I got to ask you, Paul, when you were on Wicked Tuna, weren't you on another boat?
Yeah.
Did you get fired?
Yeah. I fished with Dave for quite a few years, the Tuna.com. Yep. Best thing that ever happened to me, man.
And now you got on Lisa and Jake.
Yeah, I just ran that boat to the end of the season there because it was still 3, 4, 5 weeks left of the season. So I was like, well, I think I'll go run a boat for the end of the season.
So you said next season you're getting your own boat?
I have my own boat right now, starting June 1st.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, good. We're ready for our trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Pack your bags, baby. Get up here.
I would love to see this in person. It is fascinating.
How many people do you have?
You'd love it.
How many people do you have to have on your crew?
It was only me and my brother.
Wow.
That's on the crew. Yep.
Is it a pretty dangerous job?
It can be dangerous if you're silly and you don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you.
You can get hurt. I've seen people get pulled over before, that's for sure.
How many times actually did you encounter? Have you encountered any sharks like going after your tuna when you're pulling it in or anything?
Absolutely. You saw the great white we caught last episode.
I did see that. I wasn't going to say anything, but I did see that, and that was pretty scary.
So everybody goes their whole lifetime, hoping they could catch a great white or get close to one, and we just happened to catch one.
It was amazing.
What do you do with a great white once you catch it?
We catch it and we tagged it and we let it go because they're endangered. They say.
Yeah.
So we tagged it, and the next person that catches it, hopefully, in about 5 years, they'll be able to track its whereabouts, where it went, how far it swam, all that. So
that's good information.
Yeah, we do that with all the little tunas too. All the little ones that we throw back that we can't keep, we tag all those too.
So that you said they have to be 6 feet? You said
73 inches.
And so they have to be 73 inches. Is there a weight limitation or that?
That's just 73 inches. That's roughly, 250 pounds, a little bit bigger.
But some of them that I saw on Wicked Tuna, actually, they were weighing 500 up to 600 pounds.
Oh, yeah, those are the ones we target. Those are the ones we want.
And
you said those every day.
You said it takes minutes to hours to pull these guys in, but I noticed on Wicked Tuna that there was something where I guess it got dehooked, the hook fell out or something.
Oh, that happens a lot.
Really?
Yeah, that happens a lot. You lose a lot of fish,
A 500-pound tuna, how old a fish is that?
That, it's roughly, I would say, I know an 800-pound is 30 to 35 years old.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's probably 20 years old, 500-pounder, 15 years old, somewhere in there.
Well, can't they get up to, even high, 900,000 pounds?
More than that.
Wow.
When I was younger, I'm trying to remember how old I was. I think I was like 12 years old, 11 or 12. My dad and I used to catch them with hand lines. This was back in the 70s and 80s, and we got a 1284 and 1172 in the same day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You got to think of a fish that big is pretty sneaky and just as tired at that age. They've been getting away without being caught all that
They
time.
weren't lazy, but you got their weight. They get on their side, and they kick that tail a few times. Believe me, it's nothing for them to take 500 feet of line out.
Yeah, good Lord.
You're not going to hold it.
And they're pretty fast, too, when they're
absolutely. They swim up to 50, 60 miles an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
Like a cheetah in Africa.
That's how they burn up.
Yeah.
Well, man versus fish, rod versus fin, one catch at a time. It's called Wicked Tuna. We're speaking with Paul Hebert, one of the captains on the show. It's on National Geographic Channel. You can watch the two-part Wicked Tuna finale tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time, and next Sunday, May 12th, at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. They'll be back next season on National Geographic. Paul, not to give away, but you got a little purse that you're going after in this finale, right? You're trying to make $50,000, aren't you?
I'm hoping. That was my, I got on the boat, and they were like, well, you've got a big handicap for the season, because everybody was way ahead of me, because I fished with Dave, and I caught a bunch of fish on his boat. So everybody was, 10 weeks ahead of me,
So I
jumped in at the very end, and so I was like, well,
it's a lot to
I
make
hope
up.
I can make $50,000.
And what is it? You guys are after, like, for the season to see who is the top winner based on how much money you can bring in, right?
Yeah, there's a competition in there. We're all competitive with each other. Every one of my brothers used to be on different boats, and we used to compete with each other. The competition is very, very high stakes.
One thing I noticed too with Wicked Tuna, there's a certain part, I think it was in the beginning or maybe middle of the show, where they come to a black screen and they put up there that the dwindling tuna population since the 1950s.
Yep, but the last 2 years, the government from the Washington called ICAT, they have used the scientists. Their own scientists said the populations have tripled in the last 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yep.
Is
More
that
fish for you to catch.
They have tripled.
It's amazing, though, because you guys got those, like, fish detectors on your boats, and all of a sudden it's like you can see them kind of, right, with your radar thing, and then all of a sudden next thing you know...
fish finders.
Yeah, and then wham, right away, then there goes that reel, and it looks
I can't wait to get you guys out there so you can see it.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed. I mean, I always considered myself a heavy-duty fisherman. I bragged about, like, the 9-inch bluegill I caught in the canal behind my house. God bless.
For a hook bait for one of these.
The biggest thing I caught, I think, was a bass, and that may have been, 6-7 pounds or something like that. And I love the bass fish. I've gone trout fishing, bass fishing, but not tuna.
Bluefish for hook baits.
Wow. It's an amazing show, and congrats on that, and congrats on next season, and that would be kind of cool to sit on your boat one time. But people across America can sit on your boat every season to watch Wicked Tuna.
Every Sunday night.
That's it.
9 o'clock.
Vince and I'll be watching tomorrow night.
Nice. I'll be live tweeting.
Okay. All right.
Paul, I want to thank you for
tweeting with my tweetheart Rachel.
I want to thank you for joining us here on Talkin' Pets, Paul. And congrats on your own boat and next season. And congrats on a great show, Wicked Tuna. It's an awesome
Thanks, man.
program.
We all work really hard. Everybody works very hard.
Well, congrats on it. You do a good job, and it's a great show. You reeled me in. No pun intended.
Well, we got a good network we're working with, so Nat Geo's a good network.
Yeah, you can't beat Nat Geo.
They're really good to us.
That's definitely.
Paul, what's your Twitter?
The Twitter is Wicked Tuna Paul.
Wicked Tuna Paul.
It's the Tuna Paul.
All right, Bobby's setting it up on our Twitter and everything now, so you're all set.
Got it.
Paul Hebert, thanks for joining us here on the show, Talkin' Pets, and congrats and best of luck with next season.
Thanks, man. You guys have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
You got it.
That's Paul Hebert, the captain right now this season on Lisa and Jake. But as he said, he gave it away. He's got his own boat for next season. So you can tune in next season and see Paul Hebert. Fascinating show. It's called Wicked Tuna. Again, it's on tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time. It concludes on Sunday, May 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time on Nat Geo channel. So I highly recommend it. It's really a fascinating program.
Yeah, we're going to start watching. I'm going to watch it tomorrow night.
It's cool.
My
Paul's got a lot to say.
My interest is peaked, and he sounds like quite a character.
He is. He is. He's a fun guy. Definitely. That would be awesome.
I like him already, just talking to him.
We have to take a road trip up to Gloucester, Massachusetts.
That's how you say it, Gloucester.
Please, can we stop by Fenway? That sounds awesome.
Well, it sounds like we have the whole trip already planned.
Yeah, maybe when we next year we're going to go up with you to the dog show. What's the dog
Westminster.
show? Westminster, and then we'll take a trip from New York up to. But it won't be the right time of year.
It'll be February.
It's got to be. Yeah, we got to go in June.
Yeah, the season begins in June.
He didn't say how long the season lasted.
It was 5 weeks. I believe.
5 weeks. Okay.
Pretty amazing though, and I mean in 5 weeks if you can catch 3 fish a day, and you get anywhere from like 15,000 to 30,000 per fish.
Yeah, but he said it's unusual to catch 3 fish per day.
And there's overhead. You're paying your boat, and I'm sure there are taxes.
Yeah, and you've got your crew if you have a crew, and so.
Yeah. And it sounds like a really hard job. Can you imagine?
It's hard, and it looks like it's interesting because when they do the show, it looks like it could get a little boring at times because if you don't have anything coming in, you're sitting out there in the sun on the water in a boat.
It's just like he said. It's one of those jobs, though, when he grew up doing it. His dad did it. His dad's dad did it, blah, blah, blah.
Second nature. Yeah. Second nature.
And you can tell he loves it. You can absolutely tell he loves it. You can hear that he loves it. So, cool show. Wicked Tuna. Check it out on the Nat Geo channel. And when we come back, Bobby's got a story, but then also I want to talk about another show that's going to be coming on Nat Geo as well. I'll give you a little hint on that one. But stay tuned. I'm Jon Patch.
I'm Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
I'm Dr. Vince Santonzi.
You're listening to Talkin' Pets.
Talkin' Pets. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I love animals. They are my friends. They are my children. They are the furry builders and kids. They are my family. They understand me. That's how I love my pets.
I Love My Pets, the new single by Mark Winter, available on iTunes.
Jungle Deep. When I talk about exotic animals, I am not talking about goats and salamanders. No. This is Dr. Jones of the Jungle Deep Podcast. On my show, we explore the jungle, searching for the most exotic, most endangered animals on Earth. If you love nature and her creatures like I do, listen to Jungle Deep. Jungle Deep.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Ever think your gerbil could do more in life than in its cage or in your living room will allow? For the Talkin' Pets News Brief on Pop Page, dozens of gerbils are scurrying to New England this weekend in the hopes of squeaking out a victory in the annual pageant held by the American Gerbil Society. The competition in Bedford, Mass. will feature agility demonstrations where the gerbils must overcome various obstacles and race to the end of a course. Small rodents vie for coveted ribbons based on body type and agility. The show draws gerbil enthusiasts from all around the country. 14-year-old Sarah Caden from Jersey thinks gerbils have great personalities. She says even though they're so little, they're very different from each other, and they smell a lot less than my brother's hamsters. Reporting for Talkin' Pets, I'm Bob Page.
Funky gerbil. Your boogie cannot fail. Funky gerbil. Like a hamster with a tail. Yeah, you're bringing on the fun.
It's actually kind of a catchy little gerbil tune.
It is.
You know, it's funny, Bobby. On that story about the gerbils, you can actually see the video at talkinpets.com. And remember, no G in the talkin'. It's TALKIN pets.com. Right on the homepage, there's the gerbil pageant. Just click on the video, and there it is. It'll explain and show you what these gerbils are actually doing in this pageant. And it's funny because recently on the show we had Vitacraft on, Sunseed. You guys are probably familiar with Sunseed, no? No, that's a bird food company and everything. But they deal with like hamsters and gerbil stuff and everything. So they gave away a bunch of hamster kits, hamster gerbil kits, like the cage, the wheel, the whole thing. So I gave mine to Haley, which is my friend April's little girl. She's almost like my daughter. And so I gave it to her, and we went hamster shopping the other night. So, and we walked in, and there was one black hamster. Hamsters are hard to find. Have you guys heard this? They're like really.
Well, I think hamsters are less friendly than
they
gerbils,
are.
aren't they? They're a little bit more.
Gerbils are more popular.
Yeah.
Apparently they are, and apparently, according to Bobby's story, is that it's funny. It was ironic when he read that because April called me last night, and she was just like, these hamsters kind of stink. And in the story, they talk about gerbils don't smell as bad as hamsters, so I guess that's true.
These gerbils...
But by the way, to finish the story there, we ended up going in for one hamster. We ended up walking out with two. We couldn't let them be alone, so it was good to have companions.
Are they the same sex, I hope?
Yes,
otherwise, you're going to have more than two hamsters.
No, we made sure there were two females.
Well, actually, hamsters are more solitary as well. One would do fine. Gerbils are actually more
Your microphone is sinking.
Yeah, your mic is going limp there, Vince. You need to tighten that little knobby thing over there. But it's funny, too, because when we were there, there was this young girl that was getting a hamster, too. There was only 3, and we ended up getting 2, and she got 1. But she was like, you don't want to get the males because they got big butts. And I was like, that's not their butt.
I think that's their
And
package.
she gave me this look like, huh? And I was like, no, that is their testicles. Mm-hmm. And she was like, and I was like, that's true.
Well, I mean, it's normal anatomy.
It's huge. Those are huge. Hey, but speaking of National Geographic Channel, we were just talking with Paul Hebert. But, you can tune in tomorrow and next week for Wicked Tuna. But a new show coming out, 8 extreme survivalists, 3,000 miles through the Alaska wild, only the gear on their backs. Their mission? To get out alive. In Ultimate Survival Alaska, National Geographic Channel presents an epic competition series where the only prize is survival. No watch, no GPS, no phone, nothing. Just the wits and the gear on their back. And that's the way it should be done. Now, they are some of the toughest, most extreme survivalists that Alaska has to offer. Going head-to-head, 8 men of a rare breed are about to take the ultimate test of survival in Arctic conditions that only National Geographic can inspire. No tent, no phone, no watch, no GPS.
They're all men?
Yep.
No
3,000 miles across Alaska's wild. This is hardcore. This is old school adventure. Now bring it on. Starting Sunday, May 12th at 10 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time before moving to its regular time, Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time beginning May 19th. Go off the grid with Ultimate Survival Alaska, an epic new series that follows these survival experts on a 10-leg expedition in the brutal and dangerous Alaska terrain. Amazing. You can find out more, too, at natgeotv.com. That's their website. But actually, Lisa, it's Dallas CV, 26 years old, Tyrell CV, 28 years old, brothers. Marty Rainey, 56 years old. Matt Rainey, 30 years old. Austin Manelik, 24 years old. William Pretty, 57 years old. Tyler Johnson, 36 years old. And Brent Sass, 32 years old. Now, he's done a 1,000-mile dog sledding expedition for the Yukon Quest. But those are the people. No women. Interesting.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool.
Just a couple of gentlemen out in the woods.
Yep, trying to survive. But I guess they get dropped off at point A, and they have to make it to point B, which is the final destination. And then that person will win. But they're going against all odds.
That sounds kind of interesting.
It does. I mean, can you imagine being dropped off in the wild and you got to get from point A to point B?
How do you get to be a contestant?
I feel like that when I drive over to your house.
You have to be an extreme survivalist. That's how you get on the show. You have to be into that kind of stuff.
I would imagine you can go on to their website, though, Vince, if you want to apply for next year. NatGeoTV.com. You can check it out.
Vince wants to do that in the Everglades.
Now, see, the Ultimate Survival Alaska, I don't think I would fare too well in the snow and the cold, but I always wanted to be on Survivor. And I've always wanted to be a contestant on Survivor, dying to be on Survivor, but I don't think they'd take me because I have a heart condition. So, But that should be up to me, right? I should say, okay, I don't care if I die out on that island, I die out on that island.
No, there's too much liability.
Well, why don't you skip the TV show and just go on one of these survival trips that these, like, companies put together for regular people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see if you could hack that.
I could hack it.
You want to do the Everglades Challenge with me? So we do a canoe trip through the...
I think what we should do is we should sign up for... I always wanted to do it with my brother or my nephew Ryan, but we should maybe go on Amazing Race. I'd love to be on that show.
Oh, my sister tells...
I love
my
that
sister
show.
always tells me that Vince and I should go on that show.
You guys
because
should.
We've lived all over the world.
You guys apply, and then I'll apply with my nephew Ryan because I wanted to do that with Ryan.
That would be fun.
We'll see if we get picked. That would be awesome. Could you imagine us competing against each other?
That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
We'd beat you.
Or the four of us could work together.
I can be very competitive. We can until the end.
Yeah.
And then it's like any man goes.
Cutthroat.
All right. Well, once again, thanks for joining us here on Talkin' Pets. You can check out Wicked Tuna on National Geographic Channel tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time, and as well as the finale next week on the 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern Pacific Time on the Nat Geo Channel. From myself, Jon Patch.
Dr. Lisa Santonzi.
Dr. Vince Santonzi.
Bob Page.
Hey, spay and neuter your pets and help control that pet population. Thanks for joining us here on Talkin' Pets in this hour. Talk to you again very soon. Take care, and check us out at talkinpets.com. No G in the talking, and join us on Facebook and Twitter. Bye for now in this hour of Talkin' Pets. Say bye.
Bye.
Let's Talk Pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.